Good Wednesday evening, everybody. Welcome back to another video. And tonight, I get to talk about one of my new favorite movies of this year. I'll have to rearrange my favorite movies to try and fit this in. That movie is The Iron Claw. And I have to admit, I was very excited for this movie. So let's talk about it. This movie is based on the Von Erich family, who were wrestlers in 1970s and 80s Texas. There were 4 brothers that were involved in wrestling, and this is their story. And I gotta say, one of the most tragic stories that I've ever seen in a biopic, because this isn't a biopic that focuses on one person. It's a whole family, and it's very, very brutal to even watch this. It's a very hard watch. So Zac Efron is the main brother. His name is Kevin. And Jeremy Allen White and Stanley Simons, and I forgot who the other dude is, but I'll have it here. Well, they are brothers that have very different personalities, I guess, where Kevin, Carey, and David were the actual wrestlers, but Mike was like a musician. But they also had like a younger brother who passed away at 5 years old. And this is a very dysfunctional family, but it's all because of their dad. This movie is all about favoritism, and it's very hard for some families to go through that. But God, I'm still thinking about this movie. The way all these brothers deal with their mental stability and grief is just heartbreaking. And it's hard to believe that Zac Efron, which was Kevin, he's the only surviving member of this family. But 4 out of 5 brothers died because of an apparent curse. But this movie just focuses on their career, and there's always a possibility of having a Von Erich be a heavyweight champion of the world. And some of them come close, but then they pass away. And one of them was David, because he was invited to go to Japan to become a part of the heavyweight champion title. But he apparently passed away from a ruptured intestine. So at the wedding, I'm going to give some spoilers away, so bear with me. When Zac Efron and his girlfriend get married, Zac Efron comes into the bathroom and finds David throwing up blood in the toilet, and the next couple scenes, he gets the call that David died in a hotel room because of that illness. That's pretty much where the tragedy begins. And Carey, he came back from the Olympics in like 1980, so that took place in like Moscow, so that was already a rough place to have it because of the unrest of Afghanistan and the USSR. Well, he came back and he was forced to go into the ring with Kevin, but he had a motorcycle accident and he became disabled because he actually like lost the bottom half of his left leg, I believe. But his story, his story end is so freaking tragic. I almost like bawled, man. But I'll get into that. The younger brother, Mike, he went into the ring and he had like a shoulder injury, and it caused him to actually get into a coma because his temperature was like 107 degrees and he had like brain damage. So the other two brothers basically committed suicide. It's rough. I mean, I have no experience with that, but suicide is a very tough subject to talk about, and this movie pulls no punches. It's just brutal reality. And I gotta say, all the performances across the board were excellent. I could definitely see Zac Efron be a possible nomination for an Oscar, because I think that this is one of his best, if not his best performance. It's so good. So, obviously, I really did enjoy this movie. I'm a sucker for these sports movies, and this was one of the best ones of the year. So, my final grade on The Iron Claw, it's going to be an A+. I found nothing wrong with this movie. It's a very depressing watch, but it's also a very important watch. So, highly recommend it, but definitely be aware of trigger warnings towards suicide, because it is definitely in there. And those are my thoughts on The Iron Claw. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'm hoping my next video is going to be either a book haul, top 10 best movies of the year, or top 10 best books of the year. I still haven't decided, but we're getting to the end of the year, so I definitely got to pick out one of those videos. But whatever I film next, I'll gladly bring it to you as soon as tomorrow. But that's all I got for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you soon. Adios. Peace.